Hi, this is Shujana, and today I'm going to show you my huge unhinged 30 plus books book haul. Some are new, some are gifts, and yeah, let's get into it. First one is Dracula by Bram Stoker. I have been into dark academia and gothic literature lately, and I have been reading all these books, and I kept thinking, okay, I should read the OG ones, and what better place to start than Dracula? And I have been meaning to buy this book for a long time now. I mean, I wanted this particular edition. Just look how pretty this is. But I did not want to place pre-order for some reason from Amazon India or whatever page. But then there's this one page on Facebook, Shonchit and Hypatia, and they had a sponsored post that came on my Facebook profile that they have this in stock. But when I knocked them, they didn't have it. So this happened two or three times. I mean, I knocked them twice or thrice that they posted they have in stock, but I couldn't get it before I could get it, someone else already ordered it and blah blah blah. So when they finally had it in stock, they knocked me and they said if I'd like to order it, and I was like, yes, please give this to me. So I have this. It's really pretty, this cover. So yeah, this is the first book. The next one is Sultana's Dream by Begum Rokeya Shakhawat Hossain, illustrated by Durga Bai. This is a very short, very beautiful illustrated book, and I always wanted to read this book because this is considered the OG feminist literature of Bangladesh, of Bengal, or of this continent. I mean, a subcontinent. So I always wanted to read this, but I never got around to it. And I also did not have any idea what this is about or anything. So I read this. This is from Bookworm Bangladesh. They posted about this and I ordered from them. So this is actually an utopian feminist literature, but this is not a true utopian. If you read it from a realist point of view or a male point of view, it might look like a dystopia or more, even more horrible than that. But this was utopian feminist literature, and I enjoyed it. This was a 4 out of 5 star for me. I recommend everyone to read this book because this is really short, and yeah, read this. Next one is Willoughby's, and I have read this book already. I read this last year. I gave it a 4 out of 5 star, and I ordered it from Amazon India through Books of Bengal. And I got it in hand. I have the second book in this series, but I didn't have the first one. I did not read the second one, but you get my point. So this is Shanta Poribar, not Miku Kahini, Shanta Poribar, then what other books? Those are just a story, you know? So this is like children's literature, middle grade, and it was fun. Yeah. You can read it or you can skip it, what based on your mood or based on your preferences. I somewhat enjoyed this. The next one is also from Bookworm Bangladesh. So they posted about this and I ordered it. This is Tender is the Night by F. Scott Fitzgerald. I don't know how to pronounce that. Is that right? He is one of my favorite author. I love The Great Gatsby. I know that tells me, oh, this girl only read the popular classic books, but that's not why. And I also know that's a red flag book, but I absolutely, absolutely love that book. That book has the best opening line ever. And construction is going on and you might listen some sounds, pardon me. So I love Great Gatsby. I hate everyone in in that book. I hate all of them, and I love that book. I think that is one of the best piece of literature I have ever read, and the prose is so beautiful, how beautifully it was written. Oof, I love it. So when I saw this cover, this was really pretty. I wanted I had to have it. Then the night. They also had the same edition, same Penguin Classics, the same edition of the Great Gatsby. I have another Great Gatsby, but I didn't buy that edition because that book was white, and I do not like white covers that much. So yeah, 10 reason, right? Next book is Bunny by Munawad. I heard a lot of praise and hype about this book and hype around this book. This is a dark academia book. This is a satire. This is about a cult. And I read 10% or 11% of this book, and it didn't capture my attention. You know, there are books that you start reading and you want to know, okay, what happens by the end? What happens after this? But this book could not uh, make me feel that way. So I put the book off. I may like it or may not like it. I don't know. But for now, I'm not going to read it in near future. Yeah. So this is Bunny by Monawad. The next book is Ace of Spades, and I bought this book from Amazon India and I got it from Books of Bengal. I, yeah, so this is the front of the book. And this is another dark academia book. This is another book that is very close to my heart. I read this last year and I have read since three other books from the same theme, and because I loved it so much. And this is about this is a dark academia young adult book, and this is about racial injustice and the downside or the dark side of academia and how people of color minority are discriminated in that field. So the book is absolutely stunning. I don't think there are that many people who will not like this book. I mean, if you are a reader, there are pretty high chance you will like this book. This is that good. I loved it so much. And yeah, this book, in the epigraph, there are two quotes, and the both quotes are from. I mean, I have watched both the quotes on a screen. One is from Gossip Girl, and it says, "They say life is full of surprises, that our dreams really can come true. Then again, so can our nightmares." And this is really iconic. And then there's another iconic quote in the epigraph, and this is from Get Out, from the Jordan Peele movie. And if you are a story lover, you must watch Get Out. It's so good. The quote is, "All I know is sometimes if there's too many white folks, I get nervous." So before even starting the book, when I read the epigraph, I thought if the book is half as good as Get Out, it will be iconic. And the book truly is iconic, and the book is really beautiful, and there's this twist and you get chills all over your body, and I can't recommend this book enough. This is 5 out of 5 stars. This is my most favorite book from last year. I ordered it this year from Amazon. So yeah, and the next books are a three-book series. This is a three-book series. The first one is the Atlas Six, the Atlas Paradox, and the Atlas Complex. I bought them from Amazon India and through Books of Bengal. I absolutely loved them. I cried reading the last book, The Atlas Complex. I was sobbing for like 2 or 3 years. The last, however many hours it took to finish the last 200 pages. I was crying and sobbing. This book broke me. And I read another book, and that made me cry, and that is by the same author, Olivia Blake. I'll talk about that book later in some video when I got that book in my hand, because I read whatever. So my point is, I love Olivia Blake. I love the books, but I have mixed review about this book. So why? Let me explain. The mixed review is I loved it. I loved it. This is a dark academia book. There are 6 magicians from around the world who are brought into London in this Alexandrian library, which is a secret library or academia, where the magicians are brought together to test their talents, and only five people can enroll into the Alexandrian library, and by the end, one will be eliminated, and by eliminated, death. So this is a death's game and academia, and this is queer, and uh, this is everything. This is about our love for knowledge, the what length people would go to acquire something, to gain the knowledge that they desperately love. But this is also about what which length they are ready to go, and what that brings us. Sometimes our desire for knowledge and a thirst for knowledge results in doom, in pain, in so much chaos in this world. And we as society uh, think or consider knowledge, or the uh, thirst for knowledge, or people who are into academia synonymous with good people, with goodness, with the everything better of the world. But that's not what academia really is. There are dark sides. There are people who would go to any length to know something, uh, to what, satisfy their thirst, to satisfy their needs, to satisfy their knowledge. And sometimes that's very selfish, because sometimes that brings so much pain into this world. And I love this ideas, I love this conflicting and complicated debate about academia. For example, I love academia, not necessarily academia aesthetic. No, I love knowledge. I love thirst for knowledge. I have thirst for knowledge. I want to study for the rest of my life, because I want to know all these answers to all these questions that I have. And I know that is selfish need. If the byproduct is goodness of the world, that's great. But sometimes the byproduct is not. And we have to accept that just because someone devotes their life to academia doesn't necessarily mean that they are good people, or they are doing good for the world. Sometimes what they're doing is they're only satisfying their need, and that is not a bad thing. But sometimes the byproduct is bad. So this delves into that, and that is so beautifully done. The characters are so beautifully written, and I love them. Sometimes I hate them, and it's brilliant. The downside of this book are, or the negative side, not negative, my issues with the books were the prose are really long and lengthy, and there will be chapters after chapter when, or maybe pages after pages, not chapters, pages after pages, when there will be detailed prose about some past events, or maybe just their inner monologue of these characters. And sometimes that makes the reading experience really confusing, because when you are reading it, you don't know what the purpose it is serving. So you are giving your full attention to the details, and sometimes that makes it hard to follow and hard to read, and a work to get through the book. If it weren't as prose heavy, I think it would have attracted more readers and had better relationship with the reader. Um, but when I finished this book, and I have not been able to stop thinking about it, there's ever since I finished these books or this series, there's not been a day when I haven't thought about it. So I love it that much, and I think that it is that impactful. But at the same time, I think there will be a lot of people will drop the series in the midway, because it is really heavy and hard to follow through. It's not talking about very difficult subjects. It's just how it is written. And trust me, the writing is very beautiful, but it's just confusing and complicated to follow through. You know what I mean? So yeah, this is a 4-star book for me. The second book was a 3.5 star or 3-star book for me, because this book does those, I mean, heavy prose and heavy detailed writing a little too much. So I loved the first and fourth book, and I cried through the fourth book. I am not in focus. So I wasn't in focus. So yeah, I love this book, and you might hate it or you might enjoy it. This is a polarizing book. I mean, polarizing series and polarizing way of reading or writing and expressing, and I know it, but I loved it. So yeah, these are the books, English books that I bought. And the next are this pile of books. This is from Rocco Mari BD. It's from Rocco Mari BD. Recently, I ordered 10 of Joshimuddin titles. He's one of my favorite poets from childhood. I don't know how I found him first. Maybe it was from recitation class, or maybe it was just from textbook. But since I found him, I fell in love with writing and poetry. I mean, I fell in love with poetry long before that, but it was like falling in love all over again. His writing is so picturesque and beautiful, and I can't I can't tell you enough how much his writing made me love colors, because I saw colors through his writing. He would just write a word and I'd instantly could see the colors and feel and smell. I mean, his words evoke so much emotion and sensation. This just I don't know how to explain. So there's a lot more books. Yeah, there's a lot more books here. So I will not talk in detail about them. I just show you the first one, Shojan Badiar Ghat, then Madhumala, then Folktales of Bangladesh, then Shushayoni, then Holdepurir Deshe. I'm really excited to read this one because this is travel story, or what are they called? Travelogue? I don't know. So I'm really excited to read this one. Then there's Thankhed. I love Thankhed. I loved this book as a kid. There are so many poems in this book that I fell in love with as a kid or as a teenager when I first read this book. So yeah, I love Thankhed. There are other books. Wait, there are four more. হলুদ বরণী, এক পয়সার বাসি, then there is রূপবতী and হাসু. So yeah, these are the Jasimuddin books that I recently bought from Rockmary. Rest of the books, except four, I will talk about the four later, except the four are gifts from publisher, author, or some from my Instagram friend. So yeah. The first three are from a publication, Odhai publication, and they sent me these three beautiful um, classic books, and the first one is Laboratory from Rabindranath Tagore. Laboratory from Rabindranath Tagore. The next one is Othojal from Bibhutibhushan Bandyopadhyay, and the next one is Dampati by Bibhutibhushan Bandyopadhyay. I have not read any of these books, and I am really, really, really excited to read them. So yeah, I'll let you know what I think of them when I'm done with them. But yeah, the first one I might read is Laboratory, Rabindranath Tagore's. This is a short story, right? I don't know what this is about. As a kid, my sister read all the short stories by Rabindranath Tagore, but I did not. I don't know why. I did not read them. But I should, right? So yeah. The next one is Deyale Tader Chhaya Tobu by Ishra Karnok. The author sent me this book and it was 1 month ago, but I was busy and I could not finish this book. So yeah, no, he sent me this 2 months ago. I should make a review video of it soon, right? Yeah, I keep saying that, but I put it off. But I'll upload a review of this soon. So yeah, I'm really, really grateful and I enjoyed this book. I'll talk about it later in depth. The next two books are from my Instagram friend Imun Bhaiya. He sent some of us books during Boy Mela and he asked me which book do I want. I asked him to send me Anagona Kanapina because Patikhor Rache didn't have it and he asked me. I gave him a name. So he gave me this book, sent me this book, and I absolutely love it. I mean, I have not finished reading it yet, but I am already in love with the idea because this is about a relationship with foods, the author's relationship with foods and his experiences. So yeah, this is a very interesting read. And the next book he sent on his own accord. It is Bidrohi Puran by Arif Rahman. I have not heard anything about this book. I mean, I saw this book during Boimela, but I thought this is a poetry collection. But this is not a poetry collection. This is this is like a kind of a thesis about Kazi Nazrul Islam's Bidrohi, the Kobita, the poem Bidrohi. And I have a very deep personal connection with Kazi Nazrul Islam. My first prize in recitation was in literature by Kazi Nazrul Islam. I was in school. I was in Bogota Cantonment School till class 5, and I used to perform in this college college. I got a cold. I used to perform in this college orientation program, and I used to perform in this chorus. And by chorus, don't mean musical chorus, recitation chorus. And we used to perform with instruments, and we would. I was really a kid, and I did not know much. I did not know the gravity of Karelo Hokapat or Shamavadi or Bidrohi or any of those, but I loved performing those poems, those powerful poems as a kid. And my first poetry collection, the book that I owned was Shunchita by Kazi Nazrul Islam, and I read the hell out of it. I annotated the hell out of it. I loved it so much, and I can't tell you how excited I am about this book. I got cold. The next two books are from Gothic publication or Gothic Prokashoni. I forgot their name. So the first one is Eta Amar Darshoni Note Khatanoi by Arif Rahman, another book by Arif Rahman. I believe this is about Buddhism, and I don't know. I could be very wrong. So yeah. And the next book is Jani Galib. It is translated by Zaved Hussain, and I'll let you know what I think of it. So the next two books are from Shrutirtha publication and Shrutirtha Prakashona. And the first one is Boner Khabor by Promoda Ranjan Rai, and the next one is Iti Kathatroi by Manik Bandyopadhyay. I will post details about this book soon on my page. But yeah, these are the books. The next one is a local print of Twisted Love by Anna Hong. I read this book 1 year ago or maybe 1.5 years ago. I don't know. I read this book when it came out, and I don't know when that was. They sent me this book, and oh my god. They also sent me bookmarks and sticky notes. Oh, the pages are really nice. The printing is nice. I love their service. I mean, they sent me this as a gift, and the page is called Book Bestie, and I would recommend their page. Do I recommend this book? I read it. As I said, I read this book earlier, and I do not actually like this book or want to promote this particular book. It shows unhealthy love, and not in a way that is you can easily distinct between love and what is not love. I do not agree with the way this book was written or the messaging of this book, but I would recommend their service, Book Bestie. And the last four books, these are not gift. I bought them. I recently bought a book box from Pendulum, and they sent me these four books. One is In Watermelon Sugar, Jogon Gandha, Amol Guptor. Gupta Jibon, and the other one is Mrito Raki Jane Tara Mrito. So these four books were from their book box service, and I will talk about them in detail and what I think of these book boxes, and yeah. So these were the books. This is a huge book haul, and this is going to be a very lengthy video for me to edit, and I hope you enjoy this. If you enjoy this, don't forget to follow me. Follow me on all my socials and like this video, subscribe to my channels, and all those people keep saying about. So, yeah, this is a huge. I have to clean this book, and I did not arrange my or rearrange my bookshelf because I wanted to shoot this video. So this book have been lying on my floor for 2.5 months now, and I'd have to rearrange my bookshelf soon and clean it. So yeah, this is going to be a long night. Bye bye. Stay happy and see you soon.